Hey, good morning. I'm in the backyard today. I got my little hat, and if you couldn't tell, I'm planning to spray weeds. That's why I'm all dressed up in long sleeves, got gloves on. So I'm getting ready to spray some Nimblewill. I got it in Nimblewill infestation in my backyard. Let me see if I can show you it. But all over in this area, right over here, you can see there's a patch. All this brown stuff right here, inside it, hiding, there's some Nimblewill. I can pull that out. Show you. Alright. This stuff right here, this is some dead stuff, but you can see that, I don't know if you can see, but that's what it looks like. First I thought maybe I had Bermuda in my lawn, but it turns out no, it's not Bermuda, it's Nimblewill. And it made my lawn look like a hairy carpet. I was wondering, what is this hairy grass that's in my lawn? Turned out to be Nimblewill. And the only thing that I know of that can take care of Nimblewill is Tenacity. So today I am going to be spraying with Tenacity. Or also Mesotrione is a generic or another brand of Tenacity. And with Tenacity, you need a non-ionic surfactant to mix in with it. For each gallon, you use half a teaspoon. So the Tenacity comes with a handy little syringe that says for however many gallons you want on the bottom, that's how many teaspoons you need. I'm using a 4-gallon backpack sprayer today. I got tired of using my 2-gallon pump sprayer, so for every 2 gallons you need a teaspoon of this and a tablespoon of this. So for my 4-gallon, I'll be using 2 teaspoons of Tenacity and 2 tablespoons of the non-ionic surfactant. This is made by Lawnstar, but there are other brands like High Yield is another one. But Lawnstar was more cost effective when I was shopping. And I don't want to breathe this stuff in, and today's a kind of windy day, so I've got one of these masks. It's meant for like organic compound aerosols or whatever. So I usually use this one on painting, but this is the only one I got, and I'm going to use it while I'm spraying weeds today. Alright, so let's go take care of some Nimblewill. Alright, so my tank's about halfway full, and I've measured with the syringe up to the 4-gallon mark. So I'll add that to the water. Surfactant. It smells like dish soap. They say dish soap works as a surfactant too, but you should use the non-ionic type to make sure that the Tenacity sticks to the leaves of whatever you're spraying. Now I just got to fill it all the way to the top. Alright, that is full to the 4-gallon mark. And now let's give it a little shake. Get it mixed in there real good. Now we're ready to spray. All right, let's pump this up and let's get going. Something to keep in mind when you're spraying is when you're going back and forth in the lines, you kind of want to do a light overlap so that you can make sure that you got good coverage on everything. But Tenacity is a pretty tough one, so you don't want to go too hard on it. It could kill some of your grass if you go too heavy of a dose. But in general, I haven't had any problems with that, and if I do, it's not a big deal because I'm overseeding this year. So it's up to your conditions. I finished spraying the backyard, and now I'm going to be starting renovations, rehab, not renovation. A renovation is where you kill everything off and then you start over. But I'm going to be doing a little rehab for the backyard. Trying to get rid of the Nimblewill, and I put a blanket spray down today to make sure I take care of anything else. I went a little bit heavier on the areas that have the Nimblewill, and everywhere else it was just a pretty light blanket spray because I've already done a couple passes this year with Tenacity, and usually I add speed zone to it, but it says that you should only do 2 broadcast applications a year, and I've already done 3, so I don't want to push it any more than that. And the Nimblewill, and I was having some problem with some ground ivy from my neighbor. I thought it was ground ivy, could be wild violet. They look kind of similar, but Tenacity takes care of both. You can see, I don't know if you can see, but let's get up a little bit closer. All of these, I sprayed them about 3 weeks ago, and with Tenacity and Speed Zone, and they're taken care of for the most part. But just to make sure that they're all gone, I did another spray today with Tenacity. This is technically my neighbor's side, but I don't know where it's coming from, and I want to make sure it doesn't spread more into my yard, so I took care of that for them. You can see, already spread into some of my landscaping. We put new mulch down over here this year. I'll tell you a little bit about that. You can see the grass is not really taken care of in some spots, but I put down brown craft paper across all of the side and the back of the house over here. The screens are down temporarily because I'm going to paint the windows, but this whole area was all grass, and we put down brown craft paper, and some places where we accidentally poked through the paper, the grass came through, but my wife has been pulling some of that out for fun. Not really fun to me. My plan is just to put more paper down next year when we mulch and take care of the rest. Usually I just trim it off with the trimmer to get it as close to the ground as possible so that it doesn't keep trying to grow. But I see this one's already gotten to seed. Well, let's pull that out. We don't want those seeds over here because we don't want more grass over here. So I need to come in and trim it. It's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks or so since I've trimmed last, so they've grown quite a bit. Last week we did the overseeding for the front yard and top dressing, and the yard's loving the top dressing. It's much happier, it's greener, it's deeper. It's been getting watered twice a day, 3 times a day if it's really hot, 1 time a day if it's really cool, and the ground's still moist, and it's supposed to rain on the forecast, but it doesn't end up raining. Don't know what's going on with this weather. I've been praying for rain for the last week and it hasn't showed up. But some of the seedlings have started coming up. It isn't thick yet. It's only been a week. I'm not expecting to see the thickness for another few weeks. Probably could take up to a month or so before you really start seeing how thick it is. The areas where I scalped it and used the dethatcher, scarifier to level it out are coming in. And you can see the little grasslings right there, but they're there. They're starting to peek through. This area needs a little bit of water. This area by the curb I tend to water more because the curb does get hotter and I don't want it to dry out. So I'll tell you my watering schedule. I've been watering, it's been cool in the mornings over here, so the ground stays moist for most of the morning, so I don't water until like 11 or 12 when I take a break for lunch. And then again, I'll check it again a few hours later around 2, 3 in the afternoon, sometimes 4, and add water as necessary. And the grass that's already there, the existing lawn, is clearly super happy from the top dressing. The soil was pretty good. You can see how deep green it's gotten from all the watering and from that top dressing. But I'm looking forward to it getting thick, and the stuff that I did in the front, which was dethatching, scarifying, cutting it low, and all that prep, I'm going to be doing to the back. But I'm going to wait for the lawn company that I get to aerate to come by, and they're coming by mid-September. So before they come by, so like in a couple of weeks, we'll start doing the backyard, dethatching it, getting out all the dead stuff. I'm going to give the Tenacity a couple of weeks to work on the Nimblewill, and I'm hoping most of it will be gone. I've had it for a couple of years now and it's still there, so it seems like the Nimblewill is going to be putting up quite a fight, and I hope we can win this one. But next year we are planning to garden. We experimented with planting some tomato seeds from a tomato this year, and they sprouted. But all this was actually the clippings, the dry grass, the quote-unquote thatch, but not really thatch, the lawn debris that I pulled out from the front, but couldn't fit into this thing. This thing, some of the grass actually started rotting, so and it didn't come out when the garbage folks came by, so I threw the rest of those clippings in here too. And we've just been throwing some food scraps in there too to start composting. A friend of mine told me this is called the Lasagna Method, where you put down a layer of grass clippings, a layer of leaves, a layer of newspapers, a layer of compost or food scraps to compost, and you keep doing that and building it up the season before you start gardening. And that's going to be our project. So all of the lawn debris from the backyard is going to be going into that and filling that up, so that by summertime or spring next year we'll have some soil in there that came free from our lawn. and then we'll fill in whatever else we need with some topsoil or something that we get from a store, or from some other source. If you know any good ones in the Southeast Michigan area, you know, send me a comment or a message. Let me know who's got good cheap soil for us. We're trying to make sure we don't buy what we don't need, and we don't want to go overboard. So it's our first year after all. Hopefully it works out well. We've got this tomato plant growing in this pot, and clearly it's not going to be getting any tomatoes this season. We don't know what we're going to do with it. If you got any ideas, what can we do with tomato plants over the winter? Do we bring them inside and let it keep growing inside the house? Let me know. Put a comment or send me a message if you're seeing this on Instagram. Your Instagram. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll catch you next time. If you like this video, please like and subscribe on YouTube or follow me on Instagram, and I'll catch you later.